guy who's been walking around on our building, he's actually on with a power tool. The one that we called for. He's just been walking around the building.
You don't know his name, do you?
I don't know his name. He hasn't done anything. He's just been walking around scaring the tenants. He has a power tool in his hand.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out what's going on.
I went to the site after the power went out because tenants weren't able to access the door. And so I wanted to be on site and see if there were opportunities for me to help the tenants temporarily until tomorrow, which is when I'm gonna go to the hardware store and get multiple keys made for me to be able to hand off to these tenants. But go to the site, there's a guy walking around with a power tool looking into the building, not sure what's going on. And so I call the police, a tenant calls the police. This is Ed.
Hello, sir. Hey, this is Officer.
Yes.
I just wanted to let you know we completed a thorough canvass of the area based on the information that we had. We didn't locate him, but we'll, follow up and be on the lookout for him.
Appreciate you guys giving me a call and showing up the way you did today. So thanks so much. Boy, what a night. It's actually July 4th now, but how is it possible for the power to go out on a Friday at 9 o'clock? And now it looks like DTE may not be able to fix the power until Monday, July 6th. Now, the restaurant that's in the base of the facility won't be able to service their clientele over the next few days. Hopefully, this doesn't destroy the inventory of food that they have, right? It's all different types of things that can go wrong when it comes to these types of issues. But here we are. These are the types of problems that the property management team that you've hired won't be able to fix. Happy 4th of July. I don't think that's supposed to do that.
Thank you for calling the Detroit Home Depot. Home Depot is open for July 4th until 8 p.m. Tell me how I can help.
Customer service.
To connect you to the right person, briefly describe what you're calling about.
Keys. I want to make sure the key machine works.
We offer same-day key cutting services. Just ask an associate for assistance when you arrive. Did that answer your question?
No.
Okay, I'll connect you with someone who can help.
How you doing? Do you know if the key machine works?
Yes, it's working.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, bye. The pleasant voice of a patient customer service rep answered the phone and said that the key machine is working. I'm about to go to Home Depot and I'm gonna try to see if I can get 18 keys made because the power is still out over at the site, over at the apartment complex of mine, and tenants aren't able to access the door because we only have the app service at this point. And we try to avoid handing out keys for safety concerns and things of that nature, but the time has come and there's no other option but to hand out keys to the tenants. And so I know some people in the comments are going to say, why didn't they have keys in the first place? Completely understandable, but when people move out or get evicted and they have ill intentions and they have access to the building, it's a bit more concerning than you realize from a landlord's perspective. But it is what it is. Pulling up at Home Depot on the 4th of July to try to get some keys made, and we'll see how this works. Let's see if this thing works.
Insert your key below.
Please insert and hold your key below with the teeth facing up.
You can, it's only making one key, huh? All right, so 20 keys made in roughly 35-ish minutes. And the reason why it took a little bit longer is because when I first started using the machine, I was trying to figure out how to add more keys to the overall order, and ultimately just made one key for the first order. And I figured it out at that point. But somebody came up and they needed to make a few keys as well. And I knew I was going to be there for quite some time making 20 plus keys. So I let them go ahead of me and they were able to do what they needed to do. But, paused for a bit, walked around the store, picked a few things up, and came back and finished off the order. But once they were done, I was able to complete my batch of keys, and the machine limits you to only being able to create 10 keys at a time. And so I ended up having to do multiple batches in order to complete my task. But at the end of the day, I'm just thankful Home Depot is open July 4th, because a lot of the smaller shops aren't. I do like to try to support the smaller shops when it comes to like key making and things of that nature. But on a day like this, I made a few calls, nobody was open, which is understandable. It's July 4th. And so I had to go with the big box retailer. I'm gonna hand off the keys to a tenant who's willing to help disperse them throughout the community, which I really appreciate. But that's the life of a landlord. Be ready. I just want you to be ready, because these are the types of problems that your property management company may be able to handle, but may not be good enough to handle, right? They may be able to just barely get to a point where they're able to service your tenants in one format or another, where in some scenarios, you have to be the one that shows up. You have to be the one that gets the keys made. It's July 4th, right? I can't afford an on-site property management entity for any of my properties at this point. I don't have a big enough portfolio. And so, what can you do? You're gonna try to convince them on July 4th to go get keys made for your tenants when they're more than likely enjoying a day with their family. And in order for them to do what you need to do, they're gonna not necessarily drag their feet in a bad way, but they got other things that they're focused on, right? This is your baby, not theirs. Even if you're paying them, in some scenarios, it's gonna be a lot harder for them to accomplish what you're needing to accomplish, because it's not as close to the chest as it is to you, right? So here I am, 10:29 a.m., headed over to the east side to drop off 20 keys to tenants.